So with that, we'll get started with our first presenter, Nicholas Gadiri from CARE, Center for Internationally Trained Nurses. Nicholas, feel free to share your screen and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I want to say good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this presentation. I hope you can hear me clearly. And to improve my internet connectivity, I'm going to keep my camera off. My name is Mehrzad Qadiri. I know it's a difficult name to pronounce. You can call me Nicholas. And I'm the technology lead and case manager at the Center for Internationally Educated Nurses, Pre-Arrival Support and Services PASS program. As you may know, PASS program is funded by Immigration, Refugee, and Citizenship Canada, is one of the Care Center for Internationally Educated Nurses program, helps pre-arrival INs in their countries of residence who are planning permanent immigration to Canada. Since today's webinar is about digital marketing and outreach, I'm going to share some of our program outreach strategies and experiences we have had since 2016. As we all know, more than 1 year have passed since the WHO declared COVID-19 a pandemic. Hundreds of millions of people have lived through lockdown. Schools have closed, conferences have been canceled, and some companies have urged all of their employees to work from home. New data from Statistics Canada suggests that more Canadians will be working from home once the COVID-19 pandemic is over, as more employers report that their staff can effectively do their jobs remotely. However, unfortunately, many employees lost their jobs. The COVID not only affects on labor market, also on immigration. To manage the outbreak of the pandemic, the Prime Minister announced travel restriction that limits travel to Canada. Due to the impacts of COVID-19, IRCC announced that they cannot process application normally and provide accurate processing time. It basically affects on all service providers, pre-arrival services, post-arrival and settlement agencies, visa centers, and other service providers. Additionally, the pandemic not only affects on labor market and immigration, also on lifestyle behavior. For instance, grocery stores have shifted to online ordering and expanded their businesses on online shopping. Food delivery apps have become a replacement for restaurants that have been closed for months. The schools in many locations have shifted to 100% online learning and digital classrooms. Doctors have begun delivering telemedicine aided by more flexible regulations.
Sorry to interrupt, Nicholas. I'm just having a little bit of issue with your audio. It's clear for the most part, but it's coming in and out.
Okay, let me use a microphone. Maybe it helps. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm testing now. How is it now? Is that better?
Sounds good.
Okay,
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you. And as we discussed, the pandemic affects on many service provider, including settlement and post-arrival agencies who provide in-person and face-to-face services to their members. So many service providers changed their delivery method from in-person and face-to-face to virtual delivery. Fortunately, in our program, we have been using online services since 2016. On the next slide, I'm going to give some example of our program tools and strategies that we have been using since our program started in 2016. Since our target audiences are not in Canada, we use different channels of communication, platforms, and tools to promote our program. For instance, information session. We provide information session and live webinars to different agency and other service providers, such as university, immigration consultants, settlement agencies, and many other service providers. The primary purpose of an information session is to put spotlight on your organization. You can speak about your organization operation and goals, speak about the services you provide to members or clients, benefits of joining your program, how they can join your program, and answering their question. We also use different meeting application or platform for our session, including GoToMeeting, WebEx, Microsoft Teams, and Zoom. Another one is joint webinar. Once in a while, we have joint webinars with other pre-arrival service providers for people who are in the immigration process and coming to Canada. Joint webinar give great opportunity to all service providers to speak about the services, not only for people on immigration pipeline, also to other service providers. This is an example of the last joint webinar we had on last December. The next one is website. A website is your identity on the internet and in the digital world. It lets people know about you and reach you. It's a place for you to share information with people and make them know about you and to build interest and trust in you or your program. Additionally, one of the goals is to increase website traffic. There are many ways to increase traffic of your website. For example, we have a blog page on our website. Of course, you are not able to update your website content every week, but you can use blog to post different content and use different keywords. Google gives higher priority to websites with fresh content. So if you want to get more attention from the search engines, update your blog at least twice a week. I also added an article here talking about different ways to increase traffic of your website. Here, when I send you the slides or when I send the Jesse, you can send it to you. The second link is introduction to SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. Search engine optimization or SEO is basically the process of improving the quality and quantity of website traffic. It basically means the process of improving your site to increase its visibility for relevant searches. The last and one of the most effective one is social media platforms. Social media outreach is the process of using social network like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn to raise awareness of your brand, content, or to build new relationships. It helps to reach to your targeted audiences, stay engaged with them, and respond to their question instantly. Here are some of the platforms we use, including Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. On social media, we post our digital brochures, program videos, or upcoming webinars, joint webinars, information session, and our podcast. Here are some of the top benefits of using social media to promote your program. For example, social media is an excellent strategy for establishing your brand and increasing brand awareness. You will have plenty of opportunity to engage with your current and potential customers. This engagement can help keep your organization top of mind and increase brand loyalty. Social media can also be an effective customer service channel. If, for example, some has problem with registration or ask question about your services, you can quickly respond them. Additionally, social media offers lots of opportunity for people to discover about your program and services you provide. And the last, social media is cost-effective marketing tool. You can create a profile and post for free or create affordable social media ads to promote your program. I also mentioned about different online conferencing software or such as Zoom, GoToMeeting, Skype, WebEx, Microsoft Teams. Of course, it depends on the budget and your audience, as different organizations use different platforms. Digital flyers are very important as well. To create a flyer, we use different software and applications. As an example, Canva is a good one. We create and design our flyer with Canva, then post them on different social media platforms. Another tool that we use to promote our program is podcast. In our podcast, we always have a host, and on each we have different speakers talk about different subjects. For example, healthcare in Canada, or nursing licensure in Canada, job market in Canada, or many other subjects. To record your podcast, you can use GoToMeeting or Zoom, and transfer the file to Audacity to edit the file. Audacity is a free application, a digital audio editor and recording application software that you can use for recording, editing, and mixing audio. After editing each episode, we save it as MP4 or other social format, then post it to our website. I also added our first podcast here. If you would like to take a look at it later, you can click on this link. Another tool we use in our marketing and outreach is using videos about basically our program in different social media platforms. Video is highly effective part of digital marketing strategy in many organizations. And it's a great way to explain your product or program. And as we can see, we have three different formats. One is 10 seconds, one is 30 seconds, one is 5 minutes. And depends on, sometimes we post the 10 seconds, sometimes we post the 30 seconds. So it depends on our audiences and the platform we use. So we use different videos. Another one is using social messaging apps. The development of social messaging apps has become an effective way to engage customers. Billions of people access messaging apps every day. So it's increasingly important that your business takes advantage of them too. There are many different social messaging apps such as WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, Messenger, Signal, or IMO. And also different countries use different social messaging apps. For example, Facebook Messenger is more popular in Canada and United States. Telegram is very popular in Iran, and WhatsApp in China and South America. So it depends on your audience, target audiences. You should choose different apps. And LinkedIn is also one of the best platforms you could use to promote your program and expand your network. You can post something like photo, video, article, or also see other people post, like it, share it, add a comment, and share it on your homepage. It's another way of basically expanding your network as well. This is my last slide. We talk about the digital flyer. Here's another example, basically about digital flyer on LinkedIn. We have different webinars every month, and for each one, we create a flyer and post it on Facebook or LinkedIn. And as you can see, I added our web page here. So one of the reasons is people will click on the link, and as I mentioned, more click, more visitor, and more traffic to your website. And also you can use different keywords that people want to search something. So the search engine will help them, bring your ads up. So that was it from me. If you have any question, the floor is open, or you can ask your question at the end of the presentation, the second one.
Hi, everyone. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box, or you can always use the raise hand function and ask your questions directly to Nicholas.
Hi.
Go
Hi.
ahead.
Hello.
It's Guadalupe from the Rexel Women's Center. Thanks for such a wonderful presentation. I guess one of my questions is in terms, when you are using all the different platforms to promote and use the social media, what are the security risks that you really have to take into consideration on that?
Well, the security, like if you share something on WhatsApp or Telegram, or sometimes depends on the app. Recently, they said that, for example, the WhatsApp is not very secure, so use another social messaging app, for example, Telegram. But on Facebook and LinkedIn, as long as you don't mention about your client's name or something like that, I'm sure there's no problem.
Okay. So because I guess this is one of the challenges, and this is and I'm finding a lot in terms from our team in some time is there is some resistance to use the different platforms to promote their programs and activities is due to some of those security and safety concerns. So I guess I'm trying to figure out. I know it's when you are using social media, there is a concern from everybody in terms of the I guess privacy and all those other aspects.
That's right. And the most important is your website. For example, on our website, we use word defense that protect our website, because the website is the most important one. But other social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram, it depends on the person and depends on for example, the device, the laptop or computer the person is using. So the employees are very important, how they use their devices as well. But for the website, which is the main one, you should have the security, like as I said, that word defense, we contracted with word defense that protect our website, because all of our clients' information is there when they register for our program. But like on Facebook or LinkedIn, no one registered, or there is no name of our clients there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
No
Thank
problem.
you so much.
I have a question from Amanda. Thank you, Nicholas. Can you please elaborate how we can use WhatsApp for newcomer outreach?
I think Lama is going to talk about WhatsApp. So that's why I didn't talk about the social messaging apps that much. Am I right, Lama?
Yes, that's correct. I can answer these questions when I'm presenting.
Okay, perfect.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thank you, Nicholas. I don't see any more questions, but I do have a question for you, Nicholas. In terms of the podcast, how do you find the engagement from your clients? Do you get a lot of engagement, or how do you measure that part, at least?
Well, for the podcast, let me go to the podcast page. Okay, so for example, I use, as I said, Audacity to create a podcast. But when I have a file, like MP4 file, I do not add that file on our website, because the file is going to be very huge. So what I do is transfer the file to YouTube. So I use YouTube link and add it to our website. So one of the way is you go to YouTube page and see how many people watch the video. So basically, if you go to our podcast page, you see that you don't see that it's connected to LinkedIn, to YouTube, but I see that. So I go to my YouTube page and see how many people watch that podcast. And but for the website, I cannot track how many people click on. I'm sure there's a way to track them, but I don't see how many people click on this one. Unless I go to YouTube, see how many people in total watch that video.
That makes sense. Thank you, Nicholas.
No problem.
I don't see any new questions or any one raised their hands, but if you have any final thoughts or if you want to add anything to your presentation, please go ahead. Nicholas, do you have any final thoughts before we move on to?
No.
I think that would be it for the Q&As, and feel free to put your questions in the chat as well. We'll be able to cover them at the end as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicholas and Ophelia, for your help. So our second presenter is Lama Shami from Refugee 613. And again, I'll let Lama self-introduce herself, and over to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Lama Shami. I am the Digital Training Coordinator and a Community Manager at Refugee 613 here in Ottawa. Thank you very much for having me here. First of all, I would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the traditional unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. The Algonquin peoples have lived on this land since time immemorial. We are grateful to have opportunity to be present in this territory. Next. So what is a digital community? Is it different from digital messaging? So a digital community is a group of people that share a common need or interest, who interact with each other on an online platform, such as Nicola mentioned, WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal. Of course, it's different from a service, which could be one-on-one interaction between a service provider and a client using a digital messaging, or using a digital messaging to broadcast info to a large number of people, like what's happening in also WhatsApp. They have a broadcasting, and Telegram, they have broadcasting channels, but not fostering connection or conversation between them. Or it could be using for building a digital community. So why a digital community is important? First of all, many newcomers like to use apps on their phone to connect with others to get information. Whenever someone arrives here, the first thing is they reach for digital communities to join, because it's easy to use, and being a part of an online community give them the opportunity to network and provide them with the information and feeling of belonging. And also it is very easy to communicate using their phones. It's just like very easy all the time. They have their phone all the time with them. And also it is easy just to post a question and go for like a couple of hours and come back, and they will have like tons of answers to their questions. And also it allows newcomers to learn from each other's experience. So it's not only about their questions. They can learn from others' experience and other questions. And it helps with overcoming language barriers. So as you may all know, that when newcomers comes here and they have this language barrier, some of them would just like be afraid to go out and to ask questions. They don't know how to ask questions. So being part of a digital community that in their mother tongue, that would help them to overcoming this barrier. So how can you build a successful digital community? So what is building a successful strategy for a digital community for newcomers? First of all, know your audience. So knowing where your audience is coming from, what is their status, are they working, are not, that will help you to address the needs better. Also, that will lead for posting that will interest them as a result. Second of the strategy is choose the right platform. So choose the platform that that your audience are using. Do not introduce a new platform for them. That will be like you'll be wasting your time and wasting their times. As Nicola also mentioned, that different audience prefer different platforms. For example, the Arabic audience uses Telegram and WhatsApp very much, and Facebook, and also depending on the age. Then the new generation is using Instagram and Snapchat. So go where your audience is the key of building a good strategy for a digital community. After that, hire a community manager. So find the right community manager with the right skills for this position also is a key, because not everyone can do this role effectively, and at the same time it's not that hard. It needs just a set of skills that would help this community manager to do their job better. And it's not like a side job. So we cannot have like a settlement consultant who's doing their full-time job and at the same time they are managing a digital community. It's a full-time job from 9 to 5, and it needs a lot of patience and needs a lot of interaction with the members. Next is creating a protocol. So creating a protocol for each move on your platform or on your community. So adding a members, with the protocol of adding members, removing members from the group if somebody violated the guidelines, posting, when to post, what the information you want to share. All these protocols would help to manage the community better, and also to sustain the service in very high quality. Having a monitoring and evaluation system. So whenever you are creating your project, don't forget to build your monitoring and evaluation system that goes with this service, because it's very important because it's an interactive service. So it's very important to hear from the members, listen to their feedbacks, and also knowing when to ask or when you are going to evaluate this project. So the monitoring, it's an everyday act that the community manager is doing, but also after like a big events or like a big workshop that's happening, it's worth that to ask the feedbacks from the members, just to have better data. So I have this questions a lot. So what exactly a community manager do? So a community manager acts as the liaison between the organization and the community members. They do monitoring, so they are there to listen to the members, see what the conversation is, and see what services are they needed, and to answer these questions. Engaging, they are keeping the conversation alive on the community or on the group, and they are making sure that the guidelines are respected, and they are just making sure that the audience are engaged very well with the conversation. Moderating, they do with all the comments that are unnecessarily, or if there is like, sometimes there will be conflict, and sometimes somebody would like, like in a real community, there are some people who would have problems or would post something, bullying or whatever. So the community manager should be there just to read all these comments and remove unnecessary comments. Measuring as well, to analyze how the service is, as I mentioned before, the monitoring and evaluation system. So just making sure that the evaluation system is working and have the right data and the right feedbacks. Okay, so speaking of the community manager, what skills do they need? So community managers come from a variety of backgrounds. Being a successful in this role relies more on a set of skills than a degree. So there's no like a community management degree or a certificate that you can gain, but for the moment, I don't know if it's going to be in the future, but it's more relies on a set of skills. There are certain skills a successful community manager should have. Knowledgeable. So they should have knowledge about the organization's tone, knowledge about the service that you are providing. If you are building, for example, a digital community that provide language information, have someone who has a teaching background. So in this subject, so that will have more knowledge on what we are talking about. Strong listening and communication skills. So listening to the members' needs and like their needs and their complaints is very, very important. It shows them that you value their opinions, hear what they have to say, and care about their experience within your community. And of course, communication skills to understand and drive the conversation in general. Uh, Also, like sometimes people will not know how to ask the questions, or sometimes they would give you like a very long story about like their life story, and then they need just like a small piece of information at the end. So when you have someone who knows how to listen to them, how to ask the right question, that might drive them to different path in their journey. For example, I want to give you an example here. One time we received a request from one of our group members that they wanted to drop their refugee case. So the question was, how can I drop or withdraw my refugee claimant? So it's very easy. Like you can find the answer easily on the IRCC website. But then the thing is that you have to ask more question. Why are you? Why do you want to do that? So just try to understand the whole story. And it's ended up that they were having some problems in their lives, and they were struggling, and they needed some social consultation and mental health consultation. And when we drive them to the right consultant, they ended up staying here, applying to their cases was accepted, they applied for the PR, and now they are permanent resident. So listening and communication is very, very important in this role. Online and in-person soft skills. Deriving insight from community members isn't a very straightforward activity, as I explained. Understanding user persona, uncovering feelings and thoughts require a little more goodwill than everyday communication. Strong interpersonal skills enhance the engagement level in that community and show the audience that their opinions do matter. The empathy and patience. As I mentioned, digital community manager should have like a lot of patience. They should be able to engage and ask and answer and just like have this communication with the members. A community manager also must be able to empathize with the members and know how to respond to a manner that reflects on the organization's value. So yeah, it's not like just like questions answer, but yeah, it's more about like having this conversation and how to answer in a way that reflects the organization's value. Ability to create content. An online community consists of multiple creating contacts that meet the members' needs. So sometimes members would be depending on the time of the year would have interest in some subjects. For example, now in March and February, March, most of them they would like to ask about the tax, how to do their taxes, where to do their taxes, why should they do their taxes. So being able to create the content that meet the audience, the needs of the members, is also a skill that the community manager needs to have. Organizational and project management. An online community consists of multiple moving parts, organizational and project management skills to bring together all the moving parts, thereby an essential trait for this role. Adaptability. So the manager needs to be adaptable to deal with any situation that may rise on like by night. Sometimes by night something could change, or like by season, or sometimes like what happened now with COVID, we had to change some of the posts that we were not posting before, like medical information or vaccination. So, and also sometimes we have to post after hours if something came up suddenly. For example, uh, when Eid, for example, for Muslims, Eid al-Fitr, people would, of course, on our group, no late messages, but sometimes they had to tell each other about what's happening in the community. So we are there just to monitor and keep everything on track. And yeah, so this is like really also important skill. Engagement skills. The manager, so people would like to communicate with human beings, even if it's like behind the screen. So having these skills of engaging with the audience and speaking with them freely and have their trust is also as important skills to have. Okay, so what are some community management best practices that we have when you want to create your online digital messaging? First is set a community guidelines. So create a written document with your expectation from the way for the way that all members are expected to behave and communicate and contribute in the digital community. That's like something really plays a huge role, because people sometimes they doesn't know what is this this group is about, like how to share, and also like sharing this document with your community members when they join. And some platforms give you the option that you can keep the guidelines on the top of the group, on the top of your the community. That also, if someone violated these guidelines, you can remind them that, okay, this act is not accepted here, so here's the guidelines. Maybe you can review it, and just to make sure that you are following these guidelines. Post regularly. So posting high quality posts sorry, regularly is also one of the best practices, depending on your audience. So it's all depending on your audience. You can measure first what time of the day that have more traffic on your group, and then you can choose that time to post your post on this the community or this group. Listening and ask questions. As I mentioned before, listening is not enough to understand the need. Always ask more questions on the group or on private message to get the clear picture of the question that or the information that they are looking for. Sometimes members don't know how to ask the right question to get the information that they wanted, and also sometimes they don't know what they don't know. So just keep asking questions about the information that they are looking for, and to get like clear picture of the information that they wanted. Be ethnic. People like to get interactive with a human, as I mentioned before, and the human being, no matter what type of interaction, being genuine and human is crucial, whether or not you are behind a screen or face to face. Explore new ways of engagement. So that would be whether by asking questions to the members or hosting hosting subject experts. For example, what we have in our group, one time that at the beginning of returning to school, the members has like tons of questions about returning to school. What if we have symptoms? What if the school called us to pick up the kid? What should I do in this and that? So what we did is we hosted a nurse from Ottawa Public Health, and she was able to answer all these questions. And it was like a huge success. Another time we hosted someone from Housing Help, where they answered questions about the housing. We also hosted a mental health consultant. Also, they answered questions regarding mental health. So this is also like a way to engage with your members. Measure your success. As I mentioned also before, like having a monitoring and evaluation system is also very, very important. And you can measure your success using different analytic tools. But remember, when it comes to measuring the success of social media, you shouldn't always get hung up with the quantitative data. So because there will be like a lot of interaction between the members and you. So quantitative data is not like a measure of success. Maybe if you measure like how they integrate it, how they engage, and how they interact with other members, so that will measure your success better. Now we'll talk about like tips for posting on digital community. So again, we go back to the very important point is knowing your audience. So where are you coming from, their status, their work, also that will help you to address their needs and know what kind of information they are looking for. Also, like when you are presenting an organization, it is better to choose a formal and professional language, like when you are communicating with the members. However, sometimes you can use casual language, and all that depends on the subject. So for example, when you are answering a settlement question, use formal language that will give you more credibility. While when you are sharing a community event or like a gathering or wherever, you can use like a casual language with your members. Choose your tone. Is it serious? Is it cheerful? Is it positive? So when posting on a digital community, you are informing, guiding, marketing. So it's very important to choose the right tone, which that goes with each context. When you are informing, try like a little bit to be a little bit of serious. When you are marketing something, be more cheerful and positive and giving this vibe on the group. And also choose the right time and frequency for posting. So as I mentioned, post during the working hours. First of all, this is like if you are having your own group during the working hours. Member from your digital community will be online also for longer hours. So from that, you are like from your working hours, so they are automatically expected to have answers after hours. So and if not, they would be disappointed, which will lead to less interest in the group. So don't expect that members will follow your guidelines if you don't. So you, as a community manager, you should be following the guidelines by, like, if you have like a working hours from 9 to 5, no share any information, no answering questions after or before hours. However, there might be some exceptions, but in general, the community manager should respect the guidelines and the working hours to be able to, for other members to do so. Length of your post. So if you are posting on the group on general information, like applying for citizenship, for example, write clear, full information, and always include the official website that you have this information from. and refer to wherever they can find the service they need. So if it's like information, it's okay to be like a long post, but in general, people doesn't like long posts. So try to make it bullet points and like shortening as much as you can without losing the information, like the core information that they needed. If you are posting like for a job post, for example, make it short and include the title, that the job title, the organization that they are hiring, the deadline for applying. Sometimes people would not look to the deadline. They would think that it's for a long time. So it is like preferable to write when to apply, when is the deadline, and who is hiring this for this post. Sharing partners, workshop, and event flyers. So for this, it's preferable to have like short message with time, date, and venue. Now, because everything else is online, just sharing the partner event, write a couple of words that attract your audience and giving them a general idea about what is this about. Yeah, otherwise, if you are not like writing all these small, like the time, the venue, the date, you will be ending up with a lot of questions regarding this information. It is very important to send clear, simple, direct, and easy to understand message. Here is our WhatsApp group that I would like to share our experience on this area. So at Refugee 613, as we've been told that we were seeing through the future. So we started a WhatsApp group back into 2017, and we were targeting the Syrian refugees who arrived in late 2015 and 2016. So what we find that there is like a huge gap in receiving the right and correct information at the right time. And there were like a couple of groups that they were doing this, but then this group was not supported by organization. Sometimes the information that was shared on this group was wrong. A lot of religious and political posts, and there were no clear object of the group, and also there is no clear guidelines of the group. So we thought like let's start our own group, and that's what happened. We created a WhatsApp group for Arabic speakers, newcomers, and refugees. At that time, we hoped like if we had maybe 50 members in the group, but then the group was very popular and we reached the capacity of the group, which is 265 on WhatsApp. So we had to create another group because there was still demand on joining our group. So we created another group. The second group also had the capacity, the highest capacity of the group. So at the end of 2020, on last November, we decided to move to Telegram because of like it has many features, like better features for the community managers on Telegram, and also because the group members suggested the Telegram as a second option rather than the WhatsApp. So we moved to Telegram last November. So basically our group, it started, as I mentioned, for Arabic speakers, newcomers, and refugees. And now it's all, it started for the Syrian refugees, and now it covers all the newcomers, Arabic speakers from all the Arabic countries. We did, like before starting it, we did like screening, environmental scan actually, just to see what is working, who's working on what, which platforms, etc. And then we decided with the WhatsApp as a platform. So the WhatsApp has a clear guideline that's saying no political, no religious posts are allowed, no ads are allowed. People are expected to behave in respectful to each other, and whoever has any kind of question, they can ask their questions between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. So a daily, like a daily, like a day in our group start at 9 o'clock by saying good morning, everyone, and it will end at 5 p.m. by saying goodbye. So we are closing. After hours questions would be expected to have to be answered the next day. And also in the guidelines, we have one of the guidelines saying that we might be able to answer questions during 24 hours. And if we need more digging or like more information regarding these questions, we will contact you and let you know. If somebody wants to join the group, they need to be asked to join the group. So for example, a group member would recommend a friend who arrived recently into Ottawa. And then I asked this member to contact me to first introduce myself, ask about them, just knowing them in general. We don't need like very personal information, just like general information, name, what subject they are looking for how long have they been here in Ottawa. So these questions give us like a sense of the subject that they might be interested in. So they join the group, they can ask any type of question, as I mentioned, from 9 to 5. There are certain questions that the community manager should answer. These are questions related to the settlement. And there are other questions, like general questions: where can I buy this? Where can I find this? Do you recommend like a driving license instructor? Do you have like where can I register my son in soccer, for example? So all these kind of questions members can answer, and they can share their experience with others. If somebody asked like a settlement question that needed our answer, and another member answered that, so the community manager should look into that answer, make sure that it's correct and it is accurate and it's complete. So if it's like incorrect, we'll say, okay, this is the answer for another question, so this is not the correct answer. The right answer is this, or okay, this is the correct answer, but we need to add more information just to make things clearer. By time, members learned how to answer the questions. So like before, if somebody, for example, ask about how can I apply for a travel document, the answer would be, okay, go to this person and this organization and they will help you. But after they learned how to answer with all this information that we post, usually is we post the translated information from Canada.ca. This is who can apply for the travel document. This is how to apply. This is the application. And if you need more information or help, you can go to this organization. So people start to learn how to post and how to answer questions, and they respected the guidelines very, very well. What else? If guidelines are violated, like if some members are not following the guidelines, for example, regarding posting religious or political posts, and that happened, a message will be sent directly in private to this member, ask them to remove this post. And if they refuse to remove it, they would be asked to leave the group. If they remove it, and sometimes they forward like one message to multiple groups, and then one, like our group would be one of them. They remove it and they apologize, and then it's okay, they can stay here. If that happens like 2 or 3 times, we will just remind them with the guidelines, post the guidelines on the group, and ask them to respect the guidelines. If that happens a couple of times, we will ask them to leave the group. What else? A daily post about workshops. this is like mainly our post on the group. As I mentioned, depending on the time of the year, they might be some posts or some information might interest them. For example, in February, March, as I mentioned, it's the taxation season. So we post about the taxation. Beginning of the school is like a school, beginning of the school years in September, or like before that in August, we will post about like how to register your kids in the school. If someone is a new in town, what steps they should do. When the report like school reporting time also happened, we post about like the best practices with parent teachers interview. So what question they should ask? They should monitor the time. They have 15 minutes, just 15 minutes to ask and ask questions and ask and know how their kids are progressing in the school. So highlighting these points also help them to understand. Also, we post about, for example, Pink Shirt Day. What does that Pink Shirt Day mean? I've received a lot of feedbacks from people when I post such information, like, oh my God, now I understand why they ask my children to wear like a pink shirt tomorrow, Orange Shirt Day, Rowan Day, what is Amber Alert. So like these kind, like Victoria Day, Canada Day, what can they do in Canada Day, what open and close in Canada Day, all this in their own language, like all this in Arabic, which like make it like very very good to understand and adjust the information. Also now what we are doing is building the capacity in the group itself after we move to Telegram to be self-moderated. So we have now 4 volunteers from the group members that they were there for a couple of months, like almost 9 months. We are training them, provide them with the tools, and supporting them from backstage to just like build this capacity in the group, help them to manage this group without us. So if Refugee 613 left this group, what would happen with this group? Because during these 4 or 5 years, the group has proven its value in providing the newcomers with accurate information, and that help them in integrate better in Ottawa. Also now we are negotiating for a 6-month extension with the government, so we can do more training and coaching about creating the digital communities with different organizations. So if you have any questions, or if you want to learn more, or if you have any, we'd like to hear more from you about what you are looking for. So please contact us. And also we have a Slack channel that is all about the digital messaging. It has we did a digital messaging summit on January, and we had a couple of presentations regarding platforms, which platform to use, how to deal with misinformation, how to manage the group as I did today. So I believe I covered, one thing I want to add about the privacy. So I heard the questions about privacy. So you cannot make sure that like the privacy is respected in these platforms. It's a social media platforms. So what we do is no sensitive information should be shared in the group or on private message. So if somebody needed to share like a document, like private, that has like private information, we encourage them to go in person to the organization, or like contact us via email. And this is the best that we can do regarding this area. And of course, if somebody is having like a private question that they don't want to share on the group, they can always message us privately, and we have this communication privately. So we cannot ensure the privacy of these platforms, but we are trying our best by having this end-to-end encrypted, for example, messages, and not sharing any private information on these platforms. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Wow, thank you so much, Lama, for a very informative and practical presentation. And thank you for answering my question about WhatsApp. So right now, I'd like to invite our participants to ask questions. You can put it in the chat box, or you can use the raise hand function. And once I see your hand raised, I will invite you to ask your questions. Any questions?
Thank you, Lama. That was great and informative. This is Nicholas. There was a question about the security. I would like to add that on Telegram, if you use channel, people will not see each other names. So basically on the channels, you can post something, information about your program. But of course, on Telegram group, people will see each other. They, share, they can post their question. But for the security, if you don't, like people, the program, they don't want people see each other's name or members, they just use the channels on Telegram. I'm not very familiar with WhatsApp, but I think, so go ahead.
Let me tell you something about Telegram. So what we find about Telegram that even in the group, the member can choose to hide their personal information if they want it, and they can join with any nickname they want it. So it's not necessarily to be on the channel only. Even in the group, they can hide their personal information. If they don't want to share their phone number or their name, they can do that easily. So no need, even with the group. We really liked Telegram because it has like way much features than the WhatsApp, specifically for the managers. For example, in WhatsApp, you cannot delete any of the messages that a member posts. The member themselves, they should remove this post. But in Telegram, the moderator can remove the post, can silence the person from posting and keep them in the group, can remove all posts that this member posted in the group, can remove the person as well. So it has like much more options. And also the capacity of the group on Telegram is 200,000, but in WhatsApp is 265 members. So this is like a little bit about Telegram, why we moved to Telegram.
Perfect, good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Lama. Thank you, Nicholas. Any other questions? Please feel free to write them in the chat, or you can use the hand function, raise hand function, sorry. Okay, I'm going to clarify, Lama. So basically you said that with Telegram, you don't have to show your phone number. You can actually sign in with, wow. Okay, that's what WhatsApp can't do that. So this is really good.
Exactly. You can, like, whenever you join any group that you want to join, you have this option to hide your phone number, so no one could contact you or like see your personal information. Like recently, there was a lot of talking about the privacy on WhatsApp, and because it was going to be connected to Facebook, and they are going to share the information, so people just started to they ran to Telegram and Signal, but Telegram doesn't have like a standard option. They doesn't have the end-to-end encrypted messages. It's only on a secret chat. So on Telegram, they have like a group, and they have channels where like the broadcasting, they have a private message and they have a secret message. So with the same person, you can have two types of private messaging. That private message is that like one-on-one, and also you have the secret message. It's one-on-one, but it's end-to-end encrypted. So this is the difference. But on WhatsApp, it's like general. Everyone is everything is end-to-end encrypted.
Thank you.
I have a question. Oh, I have to write it. Could I?
Oh no, you can go ahead
can say
and speak. Yes. Please go
okay. Hi, my name is Brenda. I'm listening to it. This Telegram. You said the Telegram. You could not share your telephone number, and you said that you could either talk to the person. You could also talk to the person privately. But would the manager for this be able to see what is being said or done privately?
No, like between two members privately, no, because it's between them. But if you are, as a manager, speaking with someone, of course you can see all the messages. But if two members from the group are speaking privately, no, you don't have access to this to their conversation.
So how do you protect your participants? Because it might be where, one person is bullying somebody because they said something. So how do you protect? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. So how am I protecting my members if there is like a private conversation between them, like a bullying conversation in private? So
Yes.
usually if that happened, the person who got bullied come back to us and they tell us. Sometimes they have like screenshots, send it to us, and what we do in this case is go directly to the person who's doing this act and ask them to stop, to apologize, and remind them with the guidelines. Like that's didn't happen, like to have this bullied conversation in private, but it happened in the group. It happened a couple of times on the group when they started like a conversation, and then two members got a problem, like a conflict between each other. And what we do in this case is just when interfere, ask them to stop writing, go to private messaging and message each member separately and try to understand the situation. Why is this person saying this, and why this person is answering in this way? Remind them with the guidelines and post the guidelines on the group and ask them to end this conflict. If sometimes a member, they think that this is not fair. They say like, it's not fair. You're not like the kindergarten. It's sometimes you feel like you have to be like separating people from each other. He said like, it's not fair. I don't accept this. And it was clear because it is from the guidelines. Like you cannot speak in a way, like in respectful way to this person. So we say like, be firm here. And sometimes the member would reverse the situation on you and try to attack the moderator, for example. So I always tell them, the moderators, don't take anything personally. Just be firm, stick with the guidelines, stick with what's happening. So this is not acceptable. You cannot say that. I'm sorry, but you have to apologize. If he refuses, you ask them to leave. And that happened.
Okay, thank you. And the Telegram is free, correct? It's something that you don't have to pay for.
Yes, both of them. Like most of the platform are free. WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, Imo. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. There is a written question here, and it says that Signal has become quite popular recently since WhatsApp changes to its privacy. Are you finding that Signal is also popular among newcomers?
I didn't find it that much. We moved to Telegram before the scandal of the WhatsApp. So, and that was because of like the members asked us if we want to another option. They asked us to move to Telegram rather than Signal. So we didn't hear about Signal until the scandal of the WhatsApp appears. So I didn't see that much people using Signal. I'm speaking here about the Arabic community, like the Arabic audience. They are more using Telegram and WhatsApp.
Thank you, Lama.
You're welcome.
All right, I don't think we have any more questions. So thank you, everybody. And I'm going to pass the time over to Jessie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So just quickly, Lama, you had mentioned you had asked for some feedback from what organizations might want to see. And you had mentioned a Slack platform. Could you provide your who folks could reach out to in terms of what email address is best in the chat possibly,
Yes.
and as well as
Yes,
how
sure.
they could access that Slack platform?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you my email address. So if you have any questions regarding the digital messaging or how to create your digital community or which platform, wherever, like just email me and I'm more than happy to answer. Also, if you'd like to join our Slack workspace, just email me.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, so as we close today, I just wanted to share a very short evaluation that I hope you can complete as we wrap up. So I'm just going to send this as well in the chat here with the link. So please do complete that for all our participants. And again, I just want to give a huge thanks to our presenters, both Nicholas and Lama, who took the time to share their knowledge with us today. We really hope that this has been a beneficial space of learning and support. There's a lot of detail and it was very, very informative. I also want to acknowledge the hard work that you're all doing in your respective organizations to ensure that those whose needs may otherwise be going unmet are being supported during this challenging time with the pandemic. And again, like the slides will be from today are going to be shared by email with the permission of the presenters, and we'll have the recording of today's session also available soon on the Toronto South LIP website in the coming weeks as we get that uploaded. So thank you everyone again for attending, and enjoy the rest of your day and the weekend.